Hello, I'm a Makame with historical eras and lasting legacies. Today, I will be taking you back to World War I, or the Great War, known as one of the, if not the bloodiest periods in history. Yet there are still good moments in it. For example, today's topic, the Christmas Truce of 1914. In short, the Christmas Truce of 1914, or the Christmas Truce of the First World War, was a temporary ceasefire during a conflict between the British and the German forces during the dates of, well, December 24th and December 25th. During this small ceasefire, the soldiers of either side would lay down their arms and walk amongst the snow. They would exchange gifts, sing carols with one another, and even play European football, soccer for those in America. If you want to get a little more in depth with it, allow me a little bit more of your time. Imagine this. The day was December 24th in the year 1914 on the Yser front. The Great War had started only 5 months prior, and you were beginning to wonder if you would be home in time for Christmas, let alone return alive at all. You're a German soldier in the trenches, fending off the Belgians, whilst your comrades, brothers even, fall dead next to you. The temperatures are freezing and snow is falling. Suddenly, your commanding officer calls upon you and informs you that the enemy has requested a truce, or at least a temporary ceasefire. They had stated that they wished to send their families over German-occupied parts of Belgium letters for Christmas, which was the next day. This catches you off guard, as you were just shooting down their men. You peer out of the trenches at the enemy, and they are laying down their arms out of their trenches. Snow is falling, and you look to your brothers in arms, as they look relieved. As about an hour passes, you peer out of the trenches yet again, and the enemy is walking out in the middle of the battlefield, where many men lay dead. They all seem to be carrying presents, and your comrades all start to emerge from your trenches as well. Now, enough of that little imaginative scenario, and back to the more third-person perspective. The two sides, only having been at peace for but a few hours on the day of December 24th, start to exchange gifts and maybe even become friends. It goes on like this for several more hours. All of the men who, let me remind you, were killing each other in cold blood, quite literally, were drinking, exchanging gifts with one another, singing carols, and almost every other Christmas festivity that you may be able to think of. They all slept in peace, likely for the first time in a long time, and on the day of December 25th, or Christmas Day, they buried dead friends and comrades. The two teams even managed to have a small feast on the night of Christmas. The Belgians' original goal for sending letters to their families was also still accomplished. However, it is not in my knowledge whether or not they got them or what happened afterward. Even though this day was spontaneous for all the men, there was still one more thing that they did not exactly anticipate: a game of European football. To quote Robert Graves of the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, "No man's land had seemed 10 miles across when we were crawling out on a night patrol, but now we found it no wider than the width of 2 football pitches. We provided the football and set up stretchers as goalposts, and the Rev Jolly, our padre, acted as ref. They beat us 3-2. Yet another quote, this time from the German soldier Saxon Lieutenant Zemisch, goes as follows: "A couple of English brought a football out of their trench, and vigorous football match began. This was also marvelous and strange. The English officers thought so too. Towards the evening, the officers asked whether a big football match could be held the following day between the two positions." Clearly, the two teams had a blast on Christmas of 1914. It was not, however, where it ended for these soldiers. The day after Christmas, the ceasefire was called off, and the battle continued, as it had the day of 24th. That about does it for the Christmas Truce of 1914. There are definitely different channels you can visit for much more detailed explanation, as this is only a terse explanation of some of the details and the events that happened those 2 days. What remains, however, is that it is a monumental moment in history. A moment of peace like that in the First World War brought the soldiers hope and showed that even in war, there can still be a few good things as well. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please consider liking and subscribing, and I hope you have a wonderful day.